Yesterday, a report leaked from 3 of the largest retail conglomerates in the United States, a number to terrifying corporate America. As of this morning, consumer spending on non-essential goods has dropped by a staggering 40% compared to this same week in 2024. We are exactly 1 week away from Black Friday, the supposed Super Bowl of the American economy, but the crowds aren't lining up. Instead, a quiet rebellion is taking place in living rooms across the country. The credit cards are staying in the wallets, and the stores are empty, signaling a financial standoff that experts say could crash the fourth quarter earnings of every major Fortune 500 retailer. In the next 20 minutes, I am going to explain why this isn't just a temporary dip, but a permanent structural change in how we live. I am going to show you the math behind the spending strike, why your neighbors are suddenly building things with their hands instead of buying them, and how this shift effectively ends the era of hyper-consumerism. If you feel like you are drowning in costs and can't figure out how to survive this holiday season, you need to watch this. I am going to show you how joining this movement might be the only way to save your financial future before 2026 begins. Let's look at where we are right now. It is November 22nd, 2025. Usually, this is the weekend where the frenzy begins. You know the drill. The flyers fill the mailbox, the targeted ads take over your phone, and there is this pressure, this thick, heavy pressure to go out and stimulate the economy. But something feels different this year, doesn't it? If you look at the cultural timeline, we can trace this back. In 2020, we had the supply chain panic. Everyone bought everything because they were scared they wouldn't get it. Then, in 2022 and 2023, we had the revenge spending era where people traveled and dined out regardless of the cost. Then came the inflation hangover of 2024. Prices stayed high, wages didn't catch up, and we all just endured it. But here we are, late 2025, and the rubber has finally met the road. The soft landing the Federal Reserve promised feels more like a slow suffocation for the middle class. We aren't seeing a crash in the stock market today. We are seeing a crash in morale. The viral trend sweeping social media right now, Injure Opt Out 2025, isn't about being broke. It is about being done. It is a conscious decision by millions of Americans to say, I am not playing this game anymore. We are seeing a return to Depression-era mentality. Not out of necessity for everyone, but out of anger. People are tired of paying $8 for a carton of eggs and $60 for a polyester sweater. The context today is defiance. Let's get into the data, because the feelings are valid, but the numbers are absolute proof. According to the latest Federal Reserve data released just 48 hours ago, total household credit card debt in the United States has breached $1.45 trillion. That is trillion with a T. But here is the number that actually matters. The average interest rate on those cards is now hovering around 26%. Think about that math. If you go out next Friday and buy a $1,000 television on credit, and you only pay the minimums, you will end up paying nearly $3,000 for that television by the time it is paid off. Americans have done the math. We are also looking at the delinquency spread. In the last 30 days, auto loan delinquencies have risen to levels we haven't seen since 2008. This tells us that people are prioritizing food and shelter, and they are letting the car note slide. If they are letting the car note slide, do you think they are going to buy the latest gaming console? Absolutely not. The core problem is that the price of admission for the American dream has outpaced the ticket sales. Disposable income, the money you have left after bills, is effectively negative for the bottom 50% of earners. So when retailers scream that millennials and Gen Z are killing Black Friday, they are wrong. The math killed Black Friday. The cost of living killed Black Friday. You cannot squeeze blood from a stone. And right now, the American consumer is tapped out. So what happens when 70% of the economy, which is based on consumer spending, suddenly stops consuming? We are witnessing the beginning of Retail Apocalypse 2.0, but this one is different. The first apocalypse was about Amazon beating physical stores. This apocalypse is about nobody buying anything from anywhere. If this trend holds through December, we are going to see a massive wave of bankruptcies in Q1 of 2026. We are talking about legacy brands, department stores that have been anchors in your local mall for 40 years, closing their doors forever. But let's look deeper at the societal impact. This is changing how we interact with our homes and our families. There is a psychological shift happening. For decades, our status in America was defined by what we bought. A new truck, a renovated kitchen, brand name clothes. Now, The status symbol of late 2025 is frugality. It is becoming cool to be cheap. It is becoming impressive to repair your own fence rather than hiring a contractor. We are seeing a massive surge in what I call the competence economy. People are trading skills instead of dollars. I saw a thread on a community forum in Ohio just this morning where neighbors are bartering. One guy is fixing a lawnmower in exchange for a woman hemming his work pants. No tax, no credit card transaction, no corporate profit, just people helping people. Yeah. This is terrifying for the government because they can't tax it. It is terrifying for Wall Street because they can't securitize it. But for the people, it feels like freedom. However, there is a dark side. The service economy is hurting. Waiters, bartenders, delivery drivers, they are seeing tips evaporate. When people stop spending, the money stops circulating, and the velocity of money slows down. That creates a recessionary spiral that is very hard to pull out of. I want to share a few stories that have come across my desk in the last 24 hours. These are real situations from verified subscribers. First, there is Mark from Wisconsin. Mark is 45, works in logistics. He has 2 teenage kids. Usually, Christmas is a $3,000 affair. This year, he told his kids the budget is $0 for retail. Instead, Mark spent the last 3 weekends in his garage. He watched YouTube tutorials, maybe even some of ours, and he's building a custom gaming desk for his son and a vanity for his daughter using lumber he salvaged from a construction site cleanup. He wrote to me and said, "I thought my kids would be mad, but my son came out to the garage and asked to help sand the wood. We spent 4 hours talking. We haven't talked in 2 years. That is the hidden value of the spending freeze." Then there is Sarah in Arizona. She is a single mom working 2 jobs. She posted a video that went viral yesterday. She was walking through a big box store, looking at the prices of decorations. $50 for a plastic wreath. She put it down, walked out, and went to a local park. She collected pine cones and branches, bought a $5 spool of wire, and made her own. She said in her video, "I am not letting these corporations steal my joy just because I can't afford their prices." And finally, look at the contractors. I spoke to a general contractor in Georgia this morning. He said new massive kitchen remodels are dead. Nobody is dropping 50 grand on cabinets, but his phone is ringing off the hook for repairs. People want to fix the leak, patch the roof, mend the fence. They are maintaining what they have because they know they can't afford to replace it. This is a return to stewardship. So how do you navigate this? If you're watching this and nodding your head, feeling the pinch, what is the strategy? We need to stop looking at the spending freeze as a punishment. It is not a punishment. It is a strategic pivot. Here is your game plan for the next 6 weeks into 2026. Number 1, the life audit. Sit down this weekend, not next week, this weekend. Look at every single subscription, every recurring cost. If it doesn't keep you warm, fed, or employed, cut it. Cut it. Be ruthless. The companies are ruthless with their pricing. You need to be ruthless with your cancellation button. Number 2, embrace insourcing. For the last 20 years, we outsourced everything. We outsourced cooking to Uber Eats, cleaning to services, repairs to handymen. Bring it back in-house. Cook in bulk. Learn to change your own oil. Learn to patch your own drywall. Every skill you learn is a tax-free raise you give yourself. Number 3, the no-buy holiday. Talk to your family. This is the hardest part. Break the taboo. Send a text or make a call and say, hey, this year, let's do a potluck dinner and no gifts or only handmade gifts. You will be shocked at how relieved everyone else will feel. You are giving them permission to stop spending money they don't have. Number 4, hard assets. If you do have to spend money, stop buying consumables and plastic junk. Buy tools. Buy warm, high-quality clothing that lasts 10 years. Buy seeds for a garden. Convert your currency into things that have utility. If the dollar continues to lose value, a good set of tools in your garage will always hold its value because it can produce work. This is about resilience. The economy is changing. The era of easy money is gone. The era of self-reliance is here. We are standing at a crossroads this November. On one side is the old way, credit cards, stress, clutter, and the endless rat race to impress people we don't even like. On the other side is the new way, or really, the old way. A life that is smaller, yes, but a life that is quieter. A life where you own your things instead of your things owning you. And the corporations are panicking because you are waking up. They are terrified that you are realizing you don't need them as much as they told you you did. So here's my question for you today, and I want you to answer this honestly in the comments because I read them all. Are you opting out this year? Yeah. Are you joining the spending strike next week? Or are you going to try to keep up with the Joneses for one more year? Let me know down below. Tell me what you're building, what you're fixing, and what you're refusing to buy. Stay focused, stay self-reliant, and I'll see you in the next one.